Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? How y'all doing today? Welcome back. So for today's video, we're talking about a very small movie called Light of My Life. And for some ungodly reason, I guess I was just really not on the ball today because somehow I glazed over the entire synopsis of the movie, and I also failed to realize that Casey Affleck wrote and directed the movie. Because it wasn't until the butt end of the movie where I saw the credits and it said written and directed by Casey Affleck, and I was like, oh, shit, for real? But in hindsight, it did kind of make sense because the movie felt a little bit self-indulgent here and there, just a tad bit. But at the same token, in my opinion, it's very apparent that Casey Affleck really knows how to make a movie. I'm not going to tell you the entire plot of the movie, but I'll give you the basic setup. Casey Affleck is a dad who lives out in the woods with his young daughter in a kind of secluded lifestyle. And they do venture out. Every once in a while, they go into the nearby town, but for the most part, they live in isolation. And the reason why they live in isolation is because the dad is essentially trying to hide the daughter from the rest of the world given the state of things. And for right now, I'm just going to leave it at that. If there's any way that you can avoid reading the whole synopsis or seeing a trailer for the movie, I would recommend you do that because that's how I went into it, and I was actually thoroughly surprised because I didn't fully know what the movie was about until about a half an hour into it, and I think that enhanced the experience. But if you're in the mood for a slow-paced movie about a father and daughter just like trying to take care of each other, this is a pretty good movie in my opinion. And I said it was a little self-indulgent because I personally thought that it probably could have shaved a good 10 minutes off the runtime. But some of you guys know me, I'm kind of a stickler for if something's not super relevant, does it really need to be in the movie? And I personally thought, again, they could have shaved a few minutes off of the movie. And the only other negative that I have, because again, I'm also a stickler for music when it comes to movies, is that they probably could have used less music, because every once in a while the music kind of reminds you that you're watching a movie, whereas in some movies like No Country for Old Men, there's a lot less music and it feels a little bit more realistic that way. But ultimately, that's kind of a small nitpick because this is overall a pretty well-crafted movie, I thought. I'm kind of curious though how much of the movie was ad-libbed, because the movie is written and directed by Casey Affleck, so if he wants to go for a super long take, he can, because his character does have a couple monologues where he's talking for a really long time, and that's kind of hard to do. And his acting performance was just insane. Like, I really felt like this was a dad who kind of had a plan, and he has like this kind of formulaic idea for where he wants to go, or how he wants to survive, I guess I should say. But his daughter is also very questioning and quizzical, so he has a hard time finding the words. So it's like his character is also really flawed, which is why I say the movie is only slightly self-indulgent, because his character is potentially deeply flawed. And you can kind of tell that from the opening scene in the movie, because he's trying to tell his daughter a bedtime story, and you can tell he's sort of making it up as he goes. But that opening monologue, if you think about it, is actually a really good metaphor for the entire movie, I thought. And then the metaphor within that story actually gets addressed later on in the movie, which I thought was really creative. And I like the way this movie used flashbacks and the timing in which they took place, because Elizabeth Moss is the one who plays the mom, and her character passed away a long time ago, and her character seems unimportant for a while in the movie, but over time it comes to help you understand what Casey Affleck's character has gone through and why he kind of is the way he is. And I thought the young girl who played his daughter also did a really good job, because they kind of had this really interesting balance for her, because there's some key situations in the movie where her character has to be silent, but then inversely, she's also this very thoughtful, questioning person. And for me personally, ultimately, the slow pace of the movie really paid off, because when the moments of tension happened, they felt really intense. And to top it all off, I like the way the movie ended. The very last line in the movie is actually pretty special. So overall, as far as the score goes, the more I think about it, the more I like the movie, but I think for right now, I'm going to give the movie an 8.8 out of 10. It's a really interesting movie, it's really personal, and for a directorial debut, it's really not a bad first outing. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Have you heard of it? Hop in the comments, let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, do all that other happy horse shit, and I will catch you guys next time.